another ship vanished at the Bermuda Triangle.
Magic!
Oh no, little kitty. There is nothing magical about ships and aircrafts vanishing at the Bermuda Triangle. Instead, it is a matter of concern for the entire scientific community and the world.
Why?
Well, that's an enticing question. Hey friends, in today's episode, let us explore this puzzling place we call Bermuda Triangle and try to solve its mystery through science. Zoom in! Bermuda Triangle, also known as the Devil's Triangle, is a mysterious triangular patch between the coast of Florida, Puerto Rico, and Bermuda in the western part of the North Atlantic Ocean. Over the years, at least 75 ships, hundreds of aircrafts, and even many other means of transport are said to have reportedly disappeared under mysterious circumstances. The most recent incident occurred on a gloomy day of the 1st of October 2015 when a huge cargo ship called SS El Faro, carrying an enormous cargo load and about 33 crew members, drowned in this region. After a few weeks, a search team sent by the US Naval found its remains 15,000 feet deep in the Atlantic Ocean. But the crucial question is, why do these ships and planes lose control while crossing this triangle? Well, the answer to that question is nobody knows. Yes, we don't know the exact reasons behind this mysterious phenomenon, except for some theories that explore the likelihoods of what could be going wrong. Some of which include the possibilities of water spouts, freak storms, and even superstitions like the presence of aliens or sea monsters. But the most logical theory is presented by a team of American scientists from the University of Colorado. Yes, after analyzing the satellite weather images of this area, this team noticed an unusual series of hexagonal clouds hovering over the triangular region. And according to meteorologists, these hexa clouds might act just like real air bombs formed by microbursts. They are blasts of cool air that come down from the base of a thunderstorm at an incredible speed of around 60 miles per hour and hit the ocean and create waves that can sometimes be as big as 45 feet in length once they start interacting with each other. And as we know, no plane can soar through such a mighty force of air, and no ship can drift through such high tides, which can eventually lead to unfortunate incidents. Another theory claims that these mysterious disappearances could have been caused by 100-feet rogue waves or extreme storm waves. The waves are more than twice the size of surrounding waves. They are very unpredictable and often come unexpectedly from any direction. Well, nobody's entirely sure about these theories as they are debatable and do not explain or solve the apparent mystery of the mysterious Bermuda Triangle. And who knows if we will ever figure it out. Trivia time! Did you know the term Bermuda Triangle was coined by author Vincent Gaddis in the 1964 magazine article? Also, Charles Berlitz popularized the Bermuda Triangle's legend in his best-selling book, The Bermuda Triangle, in 1974. Hope you learned something new in today's episode. Until next time, it's me, Dr. Binocs, Zooming out.
Let's go Bermuda!
Ah, never mind.
Oh, what are you looking for, little kitty?
Kitty searches Loch Ness Monster!
Well, I think we must work together with our lovely audience to reveal this mystery by answering a monstrous question. Could the Loch Ness Monster be real? Zoom in! Deep within Scotland's Loch Ness Lake lies a mystery that has captivated the world for generations. The elusive Loch Ness Monster, often affectionately referred to as Nessie. Those who claim to have seen it describe it as a large humped creature with a long neck, small head, seal-like flippers and a lengthy tail. But the real question is there any truth to its existence? Or is it merely a myth born from tales and imagination? Well, the earliest written reference to a Loch Ness Monster goes back to the year 565 AD, when a famous man named Saint Columba was passing by this lake and saw a huge monster about to attack a person. So the fearless saint quickly intervened and commanded the monster to go back from where it came from. And guess what? The creature actually listened. It turned around and never hurt anyone again. Then, fast forward to 1933, when a new road was completed along Loch Ness's shore, affording drivers a clear view of the loch. It is then a local newspaper named Inverness Courier reported about a couple who saw a huge creature splashing in the lake. Shortly after this, the story of the Loch Ness Monster became a media phenomenon, and London's Daily Mail hired big game hunter Marmaduke Wetherill to capture the beast, who announced finding footprints of a massive four-legged creature. The Daily Mail fueled the excitement, printing a sensational headline that boldly declared, "Monster of Loch Ness is not a legend but a reality." Then on April 21st, 1934, the Daily Mail published the iconic surgeon's photograph taken by Dr. Robert Kenneth Wilson. This image shows Nessie's long neck in rippling water, and since then, many have reported similar sightings. But is there truth to these claims? Well, as far as the footprints preserved by Hunter Wetherill is concerned, after some investigation, zoologists at the Natural History Museum later determined that someone faked the tracks using a stuffed hippopotamus foot. Similarly, experts analyzing the surgeon's photograph noticed the water ripples were too small for a large creature. Plus, a closer look at the uncropped image exposed a toy submarine with an attached artificial head to make it look like the Loch Ness Monster. Hence, in 1994, the image was proven fake. Yes, and the mastermind behind this deception was none other than Marmaduke Wetherill, who is believed to have sought revenge due to the negative reception of Nessie's footprints. But then, what about numerous sightings reported by various people over the years? Well, from 2018 to 2019, scientists from New Zealand looked at Loch Ness water and took DNA bits from it to find out what lives there. After studying, they didn't find any signs of big creatures like catfish, sharks, or plesiosaurs. So, some scientists think the things people saw might be giant eels. In the end, even though we don't have clear proof of the Loch Ness monster, sometimes mysteries like these spark our imagination and makes life a little more exciting. It's trivia time! Did you know that the waters of Loch Ness stay at a constant chilly temperature of 5 degrees year-round? Yes, they neither heat up or freeze over, creating a unique environment in this mysterious lake. Sketching time! Today's sketch of the day goes to Harshita Kakera. Hope you had fun today. Until next time, it's me, Dr. Binocs, zooming out. Let's go, kitty. We didn't find any proof.
Kidz wants to see a great white shark.
Well, that's one creature you won't find here.
Why not?
Great question. Let's dive deep and uncover the mystery. Why don't aquariums have great white sharks? Zoom in. Walk into any major aquarium and you'll see all kinds of incredible sea creatures. Massive whale sharks, eerie jellyfish, and even fierce-looking hammerheads. But one famous predator is always missing: the great white shark. You'd think aquariums would love to have one, right? Well, they've tried, but every attempt has failed. Yes, back in the 1950s, aquariums were eager to show off a great white shark. But things didn't go as planned. The sharks refused to eat, bumped into walls, and usually died within days. No one knew exactly why. But one thing became obvious: great whites just don't do well in tanks. But that didn't stop aquariums from trying, as over the decades they experimented with different approaches, hoping to crack the code. The most successful attempt happened in 2004, when the Monterey Bay Aquarium kept a juvenile great white alive for about 6 months. At first, things looked promising. It swam well and even ate. But after a while, it became stressed, stopped eating, and had to be released back into the wild. So, what's the problem? Why can't great whites survive in captivity? Well, one major issue is movement. Unlike most fish, great whites have to keep swimming to stay alive. They rely on ram ventilation, meaning they need constant forward motion to push oxygen-rich water over their gills. In the open ocean, that's easy. But even the biggest aquarium tanks are too small to keep going. The walls confuse them and they often injure themselves trying to navigate the confined space. Plus, great whites are built for long-distance travel, and some even swim thousands of miles a year. Sticking them in a limited space is like forcing a marathon runner to live in a tiny room. So, they become stressed, swim in weird patterns, and often refuse to eat. I know you must be thinking, why stop eating? You see, most sharks in aquariums do fine eating dead fish provided by handlers. Great whites, not so much.
They are specialized hunters that prefer live prey like seals and sea lions. Therefore, in captivity, they often won't eat at all, which means they either starve or have to be released. Beyond these reasons, some scientists also believe great whites get overwhelmed by an aquarium's artificial environment. Like all sharks, they have special organs called ampullae of Lorenzini, which let them detect tiny electric signals in water, kind of like a built-in radar. This helps them sense prey even in total darkness. But in a tank, things get weird. The glass walls, filtration systems, and electronic equipment might create unnatural signals that confuse them, making them even more stressed. While this theory isn't 100% proven, it could be another reason great whites don't survive in captivity. But even if we figured out how to keep a great white alive in a tank, the bigger question is, should we? You see, these sharks are classified as vulnerable, meaning their population is shrinking. So many scientists argue that capturing them isn't just difficult, it's unethical. Therefore, efforts should focus on studying and protecting them in the wild, letting them live on their own terms. Trivia time! Did you know a female shark known as Nicole was once documented traveling from Africa to Australia and back again? Yes! This round trip was over 20,000 kilometers and took just 9 months. Hope you learned something interesting today. Until next time, it's me, Dr. Binocs, zooming out. Never mind. Well, I think it was just the wind.
No, it's the Chupacabra for real!
Well, to uncover the truth behind this modern-day creature, let me unveil the mystery of Chupacabra. Zoom in! The origin of El Chupacabra dates back to a hot, restless summer in 1995 in the rural countryside of Puerto Rico, when farmers woke up to gruesome sights of their goats, chickens, and sheep lying lifeless in their pens, their bodies mysteriously drained of blood with puncture marks on their necks. The townspeople were horrified. What kind of creature could do this? This sparked rumors, and the answer came in whispers. El Chupacabra, they called it. The name derived from the Spanish words chupar, to suck, and cabra, goat, hinted at its alleged feeding habits. But no one knew where it had come from or why it had appeared now. According to early witnesses, El Chupacabra was unlike anything anyone had seen before. Eyewitnesses' accounts described a bipedal creature standing 3 to 4 feet tall with bat-like wings, glowing red eyes, and spikes running down its spine. It had leathery reptilian skin and sharp fangs designed for draining the life from its prey. Some claimed it moved with an unsettling, jerky grace, hopping like a kangaroo through the fields, always vanishing before anyone could get too close. Fear spread quickly, and locals locked up their animals at night. But it did little to stop the attacks. The Chupacabra would strike silently under the cover of darkness, leaving only lifeless bodies in its wake. Villagers began to speculate that the creature wasn't of this world. Some believed it was the result of secret government experiments, a mutant that escaped from a lab. Others thought it was an alien that had crash-landed in Puerto Rico, an extraterrestrial predator roaming the forests and mountains. The story of El Chupacabra quickly caught fire, spreading beyond Puerto Rico to the rest of Latin America and even the United States. Soon reports of similar creatures attacking livestock surfaced in Mexico and the southern US. The Chupacabra, once a local terror, had now become an international enigma. But as quickly as it emerged, doubts began to surface. Amid the frenzy, some researchers pointed out that the description of El Chupacabra closely resembled a creature from the science fiction movie Species, which had been released just months earlier. So, could the Chupacabra sightings be the result of overactive imaginations fueled by pop culture? Or was it real? Well, when scientists investigated, the mystery began to unravel. Many supposed Chupacabra sightings were actually coyotes or wild dogs suffering from mange, a skin disease caused by mites. The disease left these animals hairless, emaciated, and with thickened, scaly skin, making them appear monstrous. Weak and desperate, unable to hunt in the wild, they attacked livestock, creating the illusion of a vampiric predator. The puncture marks and blood loss was simply the result of their bites. So what we thought was a monster was really a misunderstanding. But even if it's just a myth, born from misidentification, the Chupacabra remains an enduring symbol of fear and fascination, forever lurking in the shadows of our imagination, especially during spooky Halloween nights. Trivia time! Did you know a mite is a tiny arachnid closely related to ticks? Yes, mites are often found on plants, animals, and stored foods, and some can carry diseases. Hope you felt relieved today. Until next time, it's me, Dr. Binocs, zooming out. Never mind. Oh, little kitty, come out. It's time to go to school.
No,
Why not?
no. It's Friday the 13th, the scariest day of all.
Aha, I see. Well, since many people feel the same way, let's take a moment to unravel the mystery behind Friday the 13th. Zoom in. Imagine it's Friday morning and you're getting ready for the weekend. But then you realize it's not just any Friday. It's Friday the 13th. Suddenly you find yourself thinking, should I be extra careful today? Maybe you opt for the stairs instead of the elevator. Or hesitate to open that important letter. Throughout the day, a little voice in your head keeps asking, what if something bad happens? But why is that? Well, just like the old superstitions about black cats crossing your path or breaking a mirror, bringing 7 years of bad luck, Friday the 13th is steeped in superstition. These are beliefs that something bad might happen even when there's no logical reason to think it will. Some people are so convinced that Friday the 13th is unlucky that they go out of their way to avoid doing things they wouldn't usually think twice about. In fact, experts say that so many people skip work on this day
that businesses lose hundreds of millions of dollars. But here's the thing, there's no real evidence that more bad things happen on Friday the 13th than on any other day. It's all about perception. If you're already on edge because of the date, you're more likely to notice when something goes wrong. So, if there's nothing truly unlucky about this day, why do so many people believe in it? Well, nobody knows exactly when the fear of Friday the 13th began. But one popular theory is that it has roots in Christian tradition. For example, in the Bible, Judas, the disciple who betrayed Jesus, was the 13th guest at the Last Supper. Plus, several unfortunate events in the Bible are said to have happened on Fridays. Put those together and you've got a recipe for the superstition that Friday the 13th is a day to be wary of. Another theory has to do with numbers. The number 12 is often seen as a complete number, 12 months in a year, 12 hours on a clock, 12 zodiac signs, and so on. The number 13 coming right after this nice complete number might feel a little off, like it doesn't quite belong. This uneasiness can be magnified when 13 is paired with an already iffy day like Friday. But if we dig deeper into this superstition, you might be surprised to learn that the fear of Friday the 13th isn't just about the day itself. It's actually rooted in a broader fear of the number 13. This fear even has a name, triskaidekaphobia, an intense, often irrational fear of the number 13. And it affects more people than you might think. But for most of us, should we really be worried about Friday the 13th? Probably not. It's just another day after all. But if you want to avoid doing certain things, go ahead. It can be fun to play along. Just remember, there's nothing magical about the date. It's all in your head. Trivia time! Did you know Friday the 13th can occur up to 3 times in a single year, depending on how the calendar is set up? Some years have only one Friday the 13th, others have 2, and occasionally a year will have 3. Hope you feel a little less worried today. Until next time, it's me, Dr. Binocs, zooming out. There you go, kitty. Now, let's head to school. What happened?
The teacher's absent. Now that's a lucky day.
Well, never mind.
Whoa, hold on, little kitty. Don't go out wearing those wings. People might mistake you for Mothman.
Mothman? Who's that?
A legend that's haunted humankind for decades. And today, we uncover the truth behind the wings by revealing the mystery of Mothman. Zoom in! It began on a cold November afternoon in 1966 in the quiet town of Clendenin, West Virginia. A group of gravediggers stood in a lonely cemetery, shovels in hand, ready to dig. Then, without warning, something enormous swept across the sky above them. Startled, they looked up, expecting a bird perhaps. But what they saw defied explanation. It was not a bird. It had wide brown wings, a human-like shape, and it glided from tree to tree with unnatural grace. They were men used to seeing death. But this thing frightened them. Just 3 days later, in nearby Point Pleasant, two young couples sped through the back roads near an old munitions plant. That's when they saw it, a towering figure nearly 7 feet tall, with glowing red eyes and wings that stretched 10 feet across, stood in the shadows ahead. When they turned the car around, the creature took flight and chased them, reaching speeds over 100 miles per hour. They raced to the edge of town, hearts pounding, unsure if they'd imagined the whole thing. Well, they hadn't. Within days, more sightings came. Volunteer firefighters claimed they saw a large bird with red eyes. A local man's dog vanished after he reported hearing strange noises outside his home, followed by 2 glowing eyes in the darkness. By the time the local paper, the Point Pleasant Register, picked up the story, it was already growing beyond the town's borders. People gave the creature a name, the Mothman. For over a year, sightings continued. Then came the collapse of the Silver Bridge on December 15, 1967. 46 people lost their lives. And just like that, the legend took a darker turn. Some said the Mothman had been seen on the bridge just before it fell. Was it an omen, a warning, or something more sinister? As the decades passed, the Mothman shadows stretched far beyond West Virginia. Witnesses in Russia claim to have seen a similar creature before the 1999 apartment bombings. In Japan, red-eyed figures were reportedly seen before the 2011 Fukushima nuclear disaster. And in 2017, over 50 reports came from Chicago of a winged humanoid flying between skyscrapers. But not everyone believed the creature was real. Dr. Robert L. Smith, a wildlife expert, dismissed the idea and offered a more grounded explanation. The mysterious sightings were likely of a sandhill crane, a tall bird nearly the height of a man, with wide wings and striking red patches around its eyes. For some, the theory made sense, at least at first, but others took it further, speculating that since the bird had been seen near the old TNT plant, it might have come into contact with toxic chemicals, mutating an ordinary crane into something monstrous. Some researchers suggest a psychological explanation, noting that Mothman's features resemble sleep paralysis hallucinations. Perhaps it wasn't a creature at all, but a shared vision shaped by fear, stress, and the human mind. In the end, whether it's an ancient omen, a misunderstood animal, or a mass illusion, the legend of Mothman lives on, half myth, half memory, all mystery. Trivia time! Did you know the world's only Mothman museum is located in Point Pleasant, West Virginia? Yes! It has a 12-foot tall chrome statue, original press clippings, eyewitness reports, and movie memorabilia. Hope you discovered something mysterious today. Until next time, it's me, Dr. Binocs, zooming out.